talk about vision, but before I get there, I want to talk about one thing first. You see, you've got to look at yourself. Let's imagine you owned a racehorse. Now, you all know what a racehorse is, am I right? Now, let's say there's a big race on in a week's time or 2 weeks' time. Now, you've got to look after this racehorse that's in good shape to run a race. It will cost you a lot of money, am I right? Now, would you give that racehorse puddings to eat and beer to drink and white bread and white meal? What will you give it? You'll nourish it the right way, am I right? Now, that's why I want to talk to you about your body. You're a racehorse, a human racehorse. God's put you on this earth for a purpose. So your responsibility is look after your body. If you're not in good shape, decide, I want to succeed. You see, when we looked at the business, and thank God for Alta there. Alta never had the bad habits. I used alcohol, I used to smoke, I used to do a lot of bad things, right? So I decided there, I had hay fever, I had 7 sinus operations under anesthetic, a lot of things, right? And when I went to that meeting in October 1973, I made a decision that I would have sort myself out if I want to get somewhere in life. You see, and each and every one of us have got our responsibility to look after yourself. If you're overweight, get rid of it. It's easy. It's not difficult, just a little bit of exercise. Walk 10 meters a day, then you walk 50 meters a day, then you walk 100. Just now you'll be running like I run. Right? I went out at 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if Greta and Jeanette heard me going down the stairs, or John and Debbie. Maybe you're sleeping too tight at 5 o'clock. But I went out that time. You see, it's just a discipline. At home, Alta goes with, okay? But you know, you just got to decide. You've heard it this weekend. You've heard that God put potential in you. God's given you an opportunity. You're not here by accident, folks. This weekend was answer to prayers. God's hand was on this weekend. You've got to believe that. It's not an accident. You're not here as a mistake. You're here with a purpose to go out there and touch lives outside there. The people need it. You've heard all weekend. People are starving. Children are starving out there. You know that? We can make a difference. Young people are unemployed. We can make a difference. One person at a time, we can change this world. Okay? And I want to challenge you. Start with yourself. Now, I'm going to cover a couple of things with a vision that are important, but first, your body is important. You won't look like moving if you're carrying heavy load, right? So I know you can't lose it in 5 minutes, but what I recommend, some people say, I can't afford the Neo Life Shake. Hey, have it twice a day. Breakfast and lunch, and drink a lot of water. Whenever you're hungry, drink water. Not your brain. Your flesh doesn't say, I need coffee, I need sugar, I need that. It's your brain. Start disciplining your brain. Simple. If you want to be successful. Eh? I know our black friends, wafuni nyama, on meat, and right flesh. Eh? Yes, upau funu ufuma ukinyama, because niki in amazinho jengenja. In other words, what those don't understand, Kosa, if God meant you to eat meat, He would have given you different teeth. Now, I eat meat, I'm guilty. But I don't eat too much of it, and I eat it last of a meal, not in the beginning of a meal. Important what I just said there. Anyhow, we're going to talk about a vision now, because you need to have a vision. Alta and I, when we joined the business, we had no vision. And I want to share with you things that we had to do to change, right? The only reason we joined this business was to make a little bit of money. We weren't thinking big. We weren't thinking nothing like that. The first thing you need in a vision is a positive mind. Now, you can't have a positive mind if your body's sick. How do you have a positive mind? You feed it positive things. You run away from negative people. I go stone deaf around negative people. So what you feed your mind is important. The people you associate with is important. Now, if you've got a spouse that's negative and you're positive, don't fight with them that's negative. Do the best you can at home. Keep a thing positive at home. Let them, you just get out there and do what you have to do with the best attitude out, and it takes two to tango, two to have an argument. You don't join in arguments. I used to be stupid enough to argue. You'll never win an argument. You'll lose the war. So don't argue with negative people. If your spouse is not positive, you just build the business. I defy anyone to be negative when the money's flowing in the house and they've got no more debt and they've got food and the children are educated. They won't be negative. So just take the courage to go and do what you have to do and check your mind, check your association, what you read, what you listen to. On the Eagle Team and on Telegram, there's a lot of resources you can load. Very good ones, excellent ones, okay? So the positive mind, number two, gives you positive thoughts. You see, if your mind's positive, you are thinking positive. You believe all things. You believe you can do all things. And Hazel told you, through Christ who strengthens you. And then when you've got positive thoughts, the third thing's going to happen in your life. You're going to start having positive desires. You see, I never had those desires when we joined the business. It's through association and the training in this business that we started putting positive things in our mind and having positive thoughts, and only then did the positive desires come. 1987, I told you, we had no money. We had nothing. We were virtually bankrupt. Okay? But you know what? The Lord had a purpose, and thank God for a wife like Alta. We looked in 87, and Newbury down to Krishna and Llewellyn, that line of business was 70% of our PV. We were doing very little. And Alta said, we better get wide, sponsor wide. And she'd go off in one direction, work with people. I'd be in another. We worked flat out, right? So work on that. Now, when you've got a positive desire, guess what happens? That's when positive imaginations come. That's when we started looking at putting up. We were Sapphire directors in 87, but we started putting pictures up of diamond. But we spoke each step. We were 1 ruby, we were 2 ruby, we were 3 ruby, right? And we spoke the steps in advance. Don't talk diamond until you got it together down here. You know, one motor car that we had, I was blessed when I worked for the company and left the company, they paid me out, a pension was 50,000. And I knew what we had to do is to get a reliable motor car, because we could not build the way I would have to travel with a car that's giving trouble. So I put that 50,000 down on a 1987 Mercedes 300D, brand new, and the rest, the 47,000 or whatever it was on payments with the bank, you see? And then we worked. That car we did, Alta had a little car. On that one alone, we did 10,000 kilometers a month. How we did it, how we paid for the fuel, I don't know, but it happened, right? That car's still at Acres. It's got over 900,000 kilometers on it. And it's still in good shape. I actually took it for a drive the other day. We keep it going well. You see? So that's important, right? So only that's when the imagination started for diamond. We started talking things. And on that car, what I want to tell you, each diamond step, Alta wrote on the little vanity mirrors, on the rearview mirrors all over, We are 1 diamond or 2 diamond or 3. And I don't know what kind of pen she used for 2 diamond. But that is still in that car, in the vanity mirror and on the rearview mirror. Anyone get into Acres, I'll show you. The 2 diamond one stayed, although we went past. And I want to tell you, when you get that vision and it starts burning you, right? You know, we started talking about the conference center at Acres. We just started talking about those things because we started having positive imagination. So what I'm sharing with you is so important. You see, with a positive imagination, you see things beyond. You see things as what they could be even before you actually see them being. You understand what I'm saying there? And that's a positive imagination. People used to think I'm crazy. We're talking about the properties, we're talking about this, we're talking about that, and never ever focus on somebody else. At that time in South Africa, there were 2 5-diamond directors. Alton and I didn't aim at them. We were sapphires. The biggest thing I want you to remember this weekend is better your best. Don't worry who's next to you or above you or your sponsor. Better your best each and every day and each and every month, and you will get ahead. People who don't do that, folks, you'll go flying, you'll achieve dreams. Hey, who would like to get to a stage in your life not have to worry about anything? You can go down, put your head down and sleep. You're worrying about money and all this. You're doing who'd like to do it? Now, if you don't put up your hand, God can't see you. Really? Believe it can happen. So believe all things are possible. See, so once you've got your positive imagination, that will give way to the dream. You'll start seeing things, right? And dreams will give whatever you imagine in life. That'll get you into gear. It'll get you into action. Don't be fantasy. I've got one guy in the business, I won't mention the name. Every time this guy, he's going to have an aeroplane. But he stays at the same damn spot for 2-3 years. But he's going to have an aeroplane one day, you know? Don't be like that. Work. If you've got a dream, go for it. God's given you potential. Go and get it. So dreams give it life and to the possibility. And dreams keep a dream in front of you all the time. Alta was fantastic with that. She kept everything in front of us. Our dreams and everything. You know, when I got back on a trip, I was doing other things. She'd even clean the inside of the car and do this. And that was incredible. Love you, my girl. I tell you, we know what it's like not to have food, but we never borrowed money from any distributors or any people or any family. I would not tell a family where we were. Our ego was too big for that. You see, you must have a pride of yourself that you've got the ability that God's given you and go and use it. And you know what happens? The 6th thing you've got to do, you can just go, so many times in the Bible, the Proverbs 29 verse 18, God says, people without a vision perish. I want to encourage you, work on your vision. But I've never heard of anybody perishing in heaven. Where do they perish? Eh? Not in heaven. You will be blessed if you've got a vision and you work at it. I don't care how old you are, I don't care how young you are, you can do it. You've got the ability. Don't brag about what you're going to do, just do it. Then people one day say you were lucky. No, I was lucky, I wasn't lazy. That's what you tell them. I was lucky I didn't make excuses. And what next thing is, you've got to understand, your vision starts with baby steps. Take action. Whatever step you're going to do it properly. Don't become a manager and drop, or senior manager and drop, or executive manager and drop. Do it properly with a proper structure, with your customers and all. Become a qualified director, or become a director. Don't. You've got to keep stepping there, but do it solidly that you get the benefits of every step. You see, Alta always says, you must be paid at your level, or else we're not giving hope to other people out there. And taking the action will stretch you and give you courage to move to new horizons. You're going to need courage, folks. There's no question about it. You see, strength of character is somebody who can make a resolution and make a decision and then carry it out. That is character, and that's what we've got to work on. We can build on it. You've got to stretch yourself to become creative. You might have to think of different ways to do things you used to do that aren't working anymore. And if you carry on doing what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Am I right? So we've got to change our habits, change what we do. And I want to tell you, Shane, remember one thing. Angus Buchan was praying for me once, thanks to Mark and all that, and he said, Charlie, it's not over till God says it's over. I don't care how old you are, it's not over until God says it's over. So go flat out, you've got a purpose in this world. Now the feeling I got of this weekend, all the time, that we're going to have people leave here and they're going to achieve incredible success. They're going to take steps. They're going to make some of the oldies look sick because they're going to be moving so fast. You're going to believe. You're going to take what you got this weekend and go and build your structures and care for your downlines and uplift people and look after your customers, build your base. You're going to do your 4,000 PV without worrying about anything else. With distributors not that active, with good customers that you've looked after, and your structure will give you a QPV. You'll be running between 20,000, 30,000 months with qualifying PV. Never mind those trying to get to 4,000, just build your business. But do it solid every step. I know you can do that. So I want to thank you. And what we're going to do right now, if you don't take your steps, next time we get together and you see the people coming on stage, you're going to have a pity party. Why not me? Why not? No. Decide to do it. You can do it.